So we are back, man. I'm recording now. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a deep dive with Coinwave. But before we do, if you could just give me like a little 411, just so we have an understanding of where your knowledge is currently with the software, so I can kind of give you a better understanding
Okay,
moving forward.
got you. So, sorry to interrupt. Definitely. So, I haven't even gotten Coinwave, but I was actually going to buy it. So, I actually want to get as much information, as much knowledge as I can possible before we decide to get it. You know what I'm trying to
Okay.
say? Because I have a partner of mine, and my partner, so I'm just more on the development side, but
Okay.
my partner is the one that's really the main guy. So, I'm just more on the developing side. He's going to
Okay.
be more on like, the financial side.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, great. Great. We can just jump into it right now then. So, what I would say is first things first, because a lot of people have no idea about this before they get into it. We divide ourselves into two different categories. We have one category which is specifically standalone bundlers, which is what Coinwave falls under. Then there's other
Okay.
bundlers, which are basically non-standalone. Now, just so you're aware, all standalone bundlers require you to have this thing called a node. Are you familiar with a node is?
Yes, 100%. And I am very familiar with the node. Have you ever heard of Orbit?
Yeah. Oh, you just went all the way to the top of the food chain.
Yeah, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. Yeah, Orbit is the node.
Yeah, okay,
And
great.
I've also worked with Mintech before. I'm not sure if you know Mintech, but
So
it's like
Mintech is, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that
like an
sniper?
all-in-one. It's like it's basically like another bot. It's a kind of like a bot sniper bot, I guess you
Yeah,
could
so
say.
you have Mintech.
I did. It's honestly a sniper bot.
Right, right. Was it not like worth your while?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's good. I can't even say that it's bad. I think there's good things about it. Just like everything, there's pros and there's cons
Right.
depending on what it is that you're using it for. So I just think that I guess you could say the cons for me, like the cons outweigh the pros. So
Got you.
Mintech was just like, all right, yeah, that's just
I
So I'm
got you.
trying to find something completely different.
Okay. Well, I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know if you see what I'm seeing.
See, I am.
Perfect. Let me just put this on my other monitor so I can see myself. Perfect. All right. So, first thing first is I want to go over like some of the setting up things with the software, and then we can go into some of the formalities as far as launching and things of that sort. And also,
Okay.
they've came in with a couple different updates, which has got a lot of people kind of going towards this particular seed, up compared to others. So we'll go into that and how that can be beneficial, because technically speaking, there's only four to five different ways to launch a project. Let's open up our
Okay.
notes. Actually, let's do something even better. Let's not only open our notes. I'm gonna open up a whiteboard real quick here.
Okay. I also have my notes open as well, actually, and I got a lot of questions I'd like to ask.
Sure. Yeah, whiteboard free online. Let's go ahead and do that one. And let's go ahead and do this one. Yeah, I was using this one yesterday. I was like, all right, cool. This is lit. Create no login required. Love it. Start. All right. Next. All right, and then I think I can black this shit out real quick.
Already.
How did I black it out last time? Oh, whatever. It's a whiteboard. So, anyways, all right. So first thing first is we'll talk about what was LARP. Okay, we'll go into that.
Okay.
LARP, LARP, and then there is VAMP. We'll go into that. VAMP, like vampire, vamp.
Okay.
And then there's CT News, which they just integrated, by the way, to
Ooh.
their thing. Yeah, I'll show you that. CT News. And then the fourth one would be considered tech. I'll go into that. Tech projects. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's like basically LARP. So we'll go into each of them one by one. So before we do that, I just want to kind of go into the basis of the settings here. So go to the settings and kind of like talk about what you need to do in order to actually make sure that this thing fires off correctly. So we
Okay.
were talking about node. I think you said you had orbits, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, from my understanding, you probably, if I'm not mistaken, well, actually, let me ask you this question: did you only have the node, or do you also have a VPS as well?
Just a node.
Just a node. Okay.
Oh,
So let me give you the pros and cons of having just that node and not the VPS. So that way you have a visual perspective of what's going on here. So let me just scroll down a little quick. hypothetically speaking, let's just say this box here is Solana, okay? And Solana has multiple different connection points across the world. One's in Virginia, one's in New York, VA, New York. There's a couple actually in Frankfurt, Germany, but these are specifically spots that the main hub is located. Now,
okay.
The reason why I asked in regards to the VPS, I'll put VPS down here, is because what happens is these VPSs are usually strategically located near these data sectors. So whether it be VA or New York or Frankfurt, what they're doing is they're purchasing the VPS, which essentially is a computer that's on standby that's got about 2,000 to 3,000 upload and 2,000 to 3,000 download. That's one of the biggest things too, by the way. So let's talk about that, the infrastructure. So if we go into it, like let's say this right here is the VPS and the computer, and it's traveling at 1,000 up and 1,000 down. Now, if you go right now on your computer, can you do a quick speed test for me to see where your current local speed's at?
Gotcha.
Osaka, I think, is the best way to choose that. If you go to speed test, and the first one's called Ukala.
Ukala.
Yeah, I'm on my VPS as we speak, so we can kind of do a side by side comparison just to show you like for verbatim. So I'm gonna hit go right now, and then you can just hit go whenever you're ready.
Okay, I just hit go.
I'm gonna show you mine if you show me yours.
Okay, wow, yours is insane. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I'm at 250.28 download megabytes. That's what gave me.
So let me show you why this is very important, because this is why honestly people need to take this course, because what happens is you might have the bullish mindset, like I got the best node in the game, but what is the best Ferrari without the Ferrari engine? You know,
you're absolutely right, man.
You got the nice car, but as soon as you start the thing up, it's a Honda Civic. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening from a literally theoretical standpoint, from your upload download, like men lie, women lie, numbers don't. My VPS literally is going 4,000 up, 4,000 down. That means the information that's coming out of it just to get to the node, just to get that information to the node, is going to get to you 10 times faster than your computer can even get to your node. So even if you use the fastest node, I still can win with a slow node, because you're bogged down at 200 megabytes per second.
Got you. Okay.
You're geographically not even in the sector where the Solana is.
Of course.
So this is important information to know, though, because a lot of times what we do is we have essentially two types of sets of bundlers, and actually we'll go over into them. We'll go back to my website real quick so you can have an understanding, not to tear you from anything, just to
no, of course.
Yeah. So basically, we have two sets of bundlers. We have one set, which essentially is the web-based, and then we have the second set, which is standalone. Now, the standalones that we're working on right now, the pros and cons is that if you have the system individually built, like bare bone built, you have a beast of machine, and also something that is secure and something that's going to be worth your while, because you're doing a lot of different transactions at once. Now, if you're sending, for example, let's just say hypothetically speaking, let's say 20 wallets, and each of those wallets have one soul, your current machine has to send that data, that information, by 200 to 250 whatever megabytes that it just said, to the node, and then the node's going to need to make the transaction happen to Solana, and by that time's happen, I've already front ran you.
Got you. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You already bundled, basically. You're already in before.
Or if I'm a sniper, I've already front ran your bundles. That's where you will lose a lot more money at, right? Because I could simply tell you, like, hey, just join here. I could do, like, a lot of people, they might just be flarping teaching, and they might say, okay, just, here's the settings, do this, and they might hear you got a node, that's cool, but they're not going to tell you, wait a minute, let's break down the components of what your workflow is, because the chink in your armor is a little bit off. It's like when they found out that Drake had a kid. You know what I'm saying? There's a chink in the armor,
Of course.
So basically what we need to do is there's multiple different VPN systems that there's available out there. I have access to some of them as well. Again, you can use my competitors or ones I have at, either way, it doesn't matter, but I just recommend.
I would say my partner, I don't want to start some my partner actually has the VPS.
Good.
He uses the New York VPS with the NY node.
Good. Good, exactly. So that's what we need to do. The software, if you did decide to, either get 3 day license or the full license, it would need
Okay.
to resonate on that. Now, just be aware. I think I spoke to him recently. I didn't speak to him like on a phone call, but just
Gotcha.
texting him, and he seemed like he knew how to bundle, but he just didn't have the time or patience to teach you. So I'm here to
Basically,
yeah,
that's basically what it is. Like, yeah, that's 100% exactly what it is. That's
okay,
exactly why I'm taking this course, so I can learn as much as I can,
yeah.
gain as much knowledge, pick up as much knowledge as I can, so that
So
when it's time,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
ready.
knowing that information and knowing that at the end of the day, you're my student. I mean, technically he paid, but you're my student. It's very important to me to put up a red disclaimer flag just for everybody, since you're kind of new to this, to let you know that I would recommend you get your own server, because
BPS.
when you control the information, you can bend it all you want. All of a sudden, these deals I see from
Mm,
people, that's were quote unquote based in the beginning. All of a sudden, my deals we're strange now, because now he's got access to too much power. He's already told you, he's already knows how to use the power. Now it's a matter of, do you want to just give you that 401? What you do with that information, what you do
that's true,
with it.
of course. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, no,
Thank you very much
absolutely.
for that.
100%. So we're currently we're working on the VPS right now, which is currently again New York, like same to his. Now
Okay.
before we get into more of the app, there's two things I do want to get into real quick, just so you have your dot your I's and cross your T's, so to speak. When the actual VPS game itself, there's essentially two type of categories as well. We have shared and we have dedicated. So right now I'm currently on a dedicated, which means that nobody on my actual network can bog me down. So even if you did get, let's say, for example, a shared server, like I'll give you a hypothetical simple situation, just a random group that people tend to like, not lark, but tend to shill all the time just because of the name and brand, but it's more
Mm,
of like a Walmart thing type of thing. It's like a Solana vibe station, right? They're like
okay.
Walmart of the nodes, right? And I'm not saying it's like the fastest though, but the thing is, people see it because it's on Google, heavily marketed with the Solana vibe station. It's easier for node. So SVS, what happens is they sell people nodes, but that's what's great. They'll put them next to Frankfurt or Germany, or Virginia or New York. They'll put you there. They'll put you with the fast server too. They'll be 2,000 up, 2,000 down.
Okay.
However, cons of this, if it's shared, if you got a whole bunch of bundler snipers on this one particular source, all of a sudden you're gonna have spikeage of your actual connectivity. It
Uh-oh.
could be one day, doing 10x and of for speed, and one day doing a 7x, considering that it's not consistent. So and
Got it.
people are dealing with multiple thousands of dollars that could be potentially, after people start bidding in, that hundreds of thousands of dollars. The last thing you want to have is a bottleneck situation happen. At least for me, I'm just giving you all the pros and
No,
cons.
oh no,
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
taking this in because I want to be able to mitigate all of that.
Yes,
That
yeah,
is the point.
exactly.
I'm ready. I'm literally writing this in my notes as we speak. Like,
Yeah,
bar for bar.
absolutely. And I'm recording for you too, so you'll have it too from a visual perspective. But yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So the shared essentially will give you that, whereas the dedicated will put you in a situation where no matter what, it won't spike. You're going to see that consistent level. It's almost like in the internet game where you have, for example, fiber optics compared to like DSL or like cable modems, where people can be bogging the system in and out type shit. You know,
Okay.
so that's basically how that serves. So knowing that you have a standalone bundler, the bundlers companies is not jobs not to sit there and baby people and teach them all the other things that kind of go along with this type of thing.
Gotcha.
And so people get so bullish to get the bundler for whatever license it is, and they might even forget or find out about the node later, and then next thing you know, they're trying to climb uphill trying to figure out what they should have learned in the very beginning. So yeah, now just to give you pros and cons, just before we jump right back into Coinwave, the pros of having a shared a shared bundler, such as, for example,
Okay.
Kinesis, for example, or Vortex. The good thing is that it's a situation where all of the bogginess is dependable now on the quote unquote dev, like the person who owns that software. That means that they're responsible in buying the orbits for everybody to use, so it's fast. They're
Okay.
responsible in making sure that their dedicated server is literally on the fastest thing. So they basically
Okay.
are weighing that out. The cons, however, is that they theoretically, because it's a web-based system, have everyone's PKs. So all these guys that I have in my other videos that are like, Vortex or Kinesis, specifically, they're all aware of this, but it's just having quote unquote based dev. But yeah, these guys have run projects to hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the dev has access to all of these. That's the pros and cons of having a shared system compared to a dedicated. Whereas your Coinwave, there's not supposed to be any type of shared access to any private keys whatsoever, just because it's a standalone system. Now, before we go back into the app, I do need to tell you this. We did have a conversation earlier in regards to Dogwood Tools briefly, and it's important to know what Dogwood Tools did to be able to drain people, so that way you're aware why a specific standalone company was able to bypass all those different type of metrics. You see what I'm saying? So just so you're aware, there's basically a system here. So let me go back down here. This is the bundle world. Now we're talking about specifically not shared, but dedicated only. Now in the dedicated only zone, there's two categories of them as well. So Coinwave will follow in under as just a standalone. Then you have a company like, for example, Frogwood Tools, which is standalone but also serverless. So let me give you a definition of why and what's going on, the difference between serverless bundler and non-serverless, even though it's standalone. So when you go into, for example, your coin creation, and you do, for example, something simple like creating a coin, right? If I create a coin, I go to next here, and I'm actually starting to fill out the process of pictures, this, blah, 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 and then go into the port where I'm actually going to create my CA address. That's a very pivotal point, because not a lot of users realize that that CA address has to be pulled from a specific database in order for the actual bundler to recognize it as a CA. You see where I'm coming in here? So that means somewhere in the world, without telling you, it is what it is.
There's a server.
There's a server, exactly. There's a server. So that means there's a server somewhere here. Let's say this is their server, and it's supposedly, from all we know, has a shitload of CAs that it just feeds. And so what happens is, once you ask for it, it just sends it to you. Now, because of that, what Dogwood Tools did is, when they did a GitHub update, which updated the entire update of the website, of the app, they didn't drain you directly. What they did is they installed a malware bot in the Chrome. So that way, when people started to use the Chrome to open up their wallets and create new wallets in Chrome, it was literally their wallets. And so they didn't know that they were generating old wallets. They thought they were generating new wallets, but they were actually generating out of the Phantom. It was the old wallets from something else. Nice. So that hack was able to drain a significant amount of money, but because it came from the server side and not indirectly from the app, from a PK. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. It definitely makes so much sense. So there's already information that was already in the database.
Yep.
That they just use basically proves.
So not saying that Coinwave will do this, but I'm just giving you the 411 that it's not saying they can't either, because at the end of the day, it's been done before, so just be aware. That's the difference between a standalone serverless bundler and a standalone just server bundler.
Okay.
So when they also come and give you certain things in the app, now we're getting more into the app here. Certain things that they recently added, for example, was Tracker. Tracker allows you the ability to get CT plays, like, for example, Donald Trump tweets something, and all of a sudden you can literally hit that deploy or enable bundling here, and then basically bundle without having to, type in any of the information. Be the first one to basically, buy it. That is something that is good, but you also got to remember too, this is not standalone. Nothing. You cannot create a tracker and still add a search track without it not connecting to some type of server. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like this is basically all.
Because you think about it, like the server, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this too. And again, there's no shade to Coinwave. There's just you got to be transparent here,
Of course, you be real.
The thing about it is, you can get a lot of bells and whistles, but just be aware of the type of open security risk that it leaves you open to, by not necessarily from them, but who knows that they can't get hacked. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So And then there's just multiple ways. But anyways, the pros and cons is obviously that's the cons of the pros here is that you have this situation where you have a live database that, from my understanding, as of now, they have full control of what they add as far as accounts wise. You can't add any accounts yourself internally into this specific bundler. They continue to add it for you. That also still tells you alone that's a server, because if you keep add your own, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, information saved, information is stored, so that's where they can grab it from.
Yeah, exactly. So also, I haven't even talked about the implications of specifically the API with Twitter alone having that. I think a lot of bullets and a whole bunch of them took their Twitter accounts got removed, and then they put them back up once they finally bought the API. So I'm knowing that. You can get around it so much, but if it sounds like if they're not using the API, which I'm pretty sure Coinwave probably is not, because that's $5,000 a month, and they're probably not trying to bite that bullet right now. They're probably doing a server third party, which just again means it requires a server. So
of course.
So yeah, with that being said, this is the tracker, but with everything here, the mixer is essentially one of the most important things when it comes to any bundler. For me personally, when it comes to even other things I personally use Kinesis to bundle because it's so. Not to bundle, but to mix because it's so fast. But let me show you the process of what you would do if you wanted to essentially mix funds in here. So you start off in your wallets. There's group sectors here. So you click on new group. Let's say if we wanted to create a group, we'll call it specifically like dev Spider or something like that, and then we did like 20 wallets there, and we can click on initialize with dev. This will basically set this group apart to be a situation where it launches, and then it has counterpart wallets that come into it. Now right here, this is your master wallet, and essentially this is where all the funds will go first before they are distributed to other type of wallets. Now also, what you can do here, if you're like, you know what, I don't know about this. I've always been kind of weary about all type of information because I've been drained before, So what you can do is you can change this by simply going ahead, export wallets, and then you can just type in your password. You create yourself your own little password at the beginning. So let me just put that in real quick. Boom, 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 boom. And then export. Oops, wrong password. Let me try it again.
You take his hat.
Yeah. There you go. Boom. So now what I just created, it just created a new public address for me. So I was able to change this master wallet. So that's how you do that. But as far as once the Solana is actually in your actual wallet, you can actually come and hit here. And there's 3 dots on the right side of each of these groups, and they allow you to click on distribute funds. So now you can click on distribute funds here, and what I usually do is I usually do a use mixer, because that's where you have the bubble maps gets removed, the trace bubble maps gets removed, right? And if you want it, you could even switch to advanced, and you can send specific Solana amounts to certain wallets. But so that's pretty much, or you can create your own preset to doing that. But basically, that whole process of using this mixer here allows you to be removed from bubble maps. Now, there is time to time, and I haven't seen it too much with Coinwave, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's time to time where funds will get mixed, and then they'll get stuck in the mixer. And I'm pretty sure that the way that Coinwave works is all PKs are provided internally into this wallet section here. So anytime you do start to mixing, it'll show a temporary wallet here, a group here that says a mixer wallets. And so in case you do get where they get stuck, you just go into the mixer wallets and just grab it from the Solana. You basically come in here.
That is such a cool feature.
Yeah, you go in there and you grab it like that. So for example, you come in here and you just hit transfer SOL, and then you can transfer it back to your funder or whatever wallet you want to.
Okay.
Something to be aware of. I don't want to go too much ahead of myself, but generate holdings as of right now, it does work. It does add holders. However, the problem is it's not connected to a mixer when you do that. So it'll add small 0.0001 holders, but they're all in bubble maps will have clinks together because they're not mixed up when doing that. So
they'll pop up on the bubble maps.
Yeah, so the only way theoretically at the moment until they like figure out a way to mitigate this is to essentially distribute funds. Like even if you had a live contract, you could distribute, like for example, one soul to another wallet, buy from that particular distribution 0.0001 or whatever small token amount, and then once you bought that position, do it, redistribute to another wallet. Again, it might take 2 or 3 minutes per holder, but like that's the only way I know to cleanly do it without having to fuck up your bubble map chart.
Yeah, I would basically just distribute funds just each and every single wallet is what you're saying. Or my bad, group, forgive me.
Yeah, so you can distribute, actually, for example, like let's say we did the Death Spider-Man one and you hit distribute funds. You can go simply to advanced here and then actually set the amount to where it goes. But what I was saying is after you've actually bought it with those particular wallets, you may look at the contract and say to yourself, even though I got a good set of supply here with 20, 30 wallets, we all know that 70, 80 wallets look way more bullish, or 200, 130 wallets look way more bullish,
That's the good news right there.
Yeah, so exactly. So what I had to do, and I'm not sure you've seen some of my episodes, but one of the videos, what I did is it took me like 6 hours to literally under the record, just slowly paint the, not even wasn't even painting at the point. I was just adding holders for like 4 hours because it took me like 3 to 5 minutes per holder because the mixer comes in, mixes the funds. That might take 2 minutes, and then I might buy, and then I might have to do it again. So that takes 2 to 3 minutes per holder, right? But that takes time. Like after 3 minutes times like 50, that's like hour and a half, 2 hours, But hey, yeah. I slowly start seeing when I go into, for example, when I go to coins here, and you can actually do this for any coin, whether you hit add here or you can create the coin. You can add any coin. The great thing about Coinwave is it allows you to literally go into any coin that's either distributed or migrated or not migrated, and allow you to see data to be able to literally buy, sell. You don't even have to go to the charts if you didn't want to. You can see the market cap here, holders are right here.
What?
Yeah, everything's right here. And so this is what I was referring to, like this add holder button here. It's good. It will add 20 holders super quick. But if you look at bubble maps, these 20 holders will all be attached together. And now this is another thing. If you are in a multi-million-dollar project, let's say the project gets like 600,000, 800,000, whatever. Then yeah, you can do a quick instant and do in the small bubbles of little holders, because at that point no one gives a fuck with those small little bubbles because they realize that, But at the small market cap, you want to basically be careful because they're gonna be like, oh, the contract is definitely, manipulated, basically.
Of course, like I want to be able to. Honestly, I want the most organic chart. I want to be able to create it anonymously.
Yeah.
As well, in a sense, so that nobody's picking up off of, again, the address. As you said.
Absolutely, and also that brings me to my next point here, and I'm glad you said that. Let me just get some space so I could clear this whiteboard, because I have a couple other ones I want to show you too. But basically, one thing I want to tell you is, sorry, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Boom. So you were just saying about what was that last thing you said again?
Oh man, I'm so fried and my attention span is so short, bro. Hold on, give me a second. I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
You're good. No, so I was referring to. Well, I wanted to go over. I saw this the LARP Vamp CT news. I wanted to go more into detail about that, but I did want to cover one thing though real quick. So this is your main framework essentially. You just, again, holders, your market cap. Now when it comes down to it, I think Coinwave has a excellent comment bot. Like I give them the fucking props, because this also, again, another thing too. It's one of those things where I tell you the bells and whistles. It's kind of like there's pros and cons to them. The pros of it is you could literally put in whatever delay you want, whatever comments you want. I've sat here for multiple different projects. Those things just boom, boom, boom come out. No type of problem with it being ghosted or nothing. Like those comments just work. The problem is this. I know for a fact that 9 times out of 10, most of these bundlers that have the Coinwave tool needs proxies in order for them to successfully stick. That tells me, again, that there's another server behind it, because they're helping you, but at the same time, that just you need to understand your leverage here, what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So you could ask XYZ. He's one of the CEOs of the company. And you could ask them, like, do I need to put proxies? You could technically put proxies here on the left side here, but without them, they'll stick. That means that they have a server running with proxies feeding to you, where you're able to connect them and be able to run that comment situation. But again, it's a database, so it's there somewhere.
Got you. So you're saying that if I was to use this comment bot, you saying it works pretty well, but if I was to use proxies to make it even better, you
Well,
can.
the proxies is going to specifically help out with more of the actual volume and transaction stuff going on when it comes to buying and selling, to specifically pump and pre-migration, showing off as, for example, if you've been to, let's go to pump real quick, actually. Yeah,
Okay.
so for example, right here, let's go to trades. You see, all right, so let's go all the way to the bottom here. I'm not sure if they changed their infrastructure a little bit, but they used to have it where there used to be these like little robot little things next to it that shows that
Yeah,
these.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I remember it was showing me out there. I no, no. I used to use pump in OG days.
Exactly, exactly. So the proxies help with showing that they're coming from actual real transactions rather than just robotic plays.
Got you.
But it seems like that has changed a little bit, and I wonder, however, because honestly, no, not a lot of real traders are really on pump. They're really on Axiom or they're on Bullocks. So I would look at that metric though specifically on these things compared to pump itself, but that's what it would be for. Now this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if you're not gonna bundle with like 100 to plus wallets, it's like pointless to do it with 20 wallets because theoretically what you could do is you could buy in with the dev, look and see what the PvP is like, and see if it's bullish or not. If it is, then you simply can sell on those people coming in, or if it isn't, then it just allows you just a little bit more time, just because they pay the charts for you a little bit, and then they sell out, and then you come in with your bundles. You don't have to come in right away.
Got
And
you.
the only reason why I say that is because of this thing that I know from a particular bundler company. Not going to say their names, but they were once associated with DYOR Tools. It's not Coinwave, but they were once associated with DYOR Tools, and they basically, when I was at the time like shilling DYOR Tools and they were still strong, they wanted me to do an advertisement and shill for them, and to get me to kind of like to show, I guess, distrust that the DYOR Tools were basically about to be, doing bad shit.
Yeah.
They sent me an image, and that image forever changed my way of essentially what. And I told myself, for every student that I have moving forward, and I've had like hundreds now, I have to tell them about this because it's important you know this. And whether it's happening behind the scenes or not, at least you're educated that this could happen to you. Okay, so this is what could potentially be happening. Again, this is not saying this is happening with Coinwave, but this is the game, and it's important that you understand what happened. So I got a screenshot of basically a Discord, and the Discord had multiple people in it. That was maybe about 10 to 15 people, not too much, like an inner circle type thing. However, what was interesting was the Discord had an automatic bot. The bot was specifically giving every single CA address that particular bundler was deploying, which basically meant that if you had a, like your bot, your Osmo, or your the one that you referred to earlier, that sniper bot, you could easily set these things up to front run all your community's projects, because you literally are there. You're providing a bundler service. You have access to all the CAs that are triggered from the webhook. So why not print all day, right? And so what was happening is he was showing me that there was all webhooks from these guys that essentially were supposed to be the admins of the particular team, which means that when you bundled in with your project, let's say, for example, let's say you came with a dev right here, boom, with one step by, but all of a sudden you, at the same block, you try to get in with all your wallets. It's like a little newbie move, but you try to get in with like 40, 50 wallets at the same time, right? Right off the start, right? Because they had the webhook of this dev from the start, they would have just send their bot right in before all your bots came in and sell right on top of you real quick. So you made a cool 2-3 soul profit and then sniped your whole shit. And now you're just basically trying to dig yourself out of the grave for bids just to get to your initial ROI. Not to mention you lost transaction fees. Yeah. So
no, something you don't want.
Yeah. So the reason why this is directly what I tell people in order to mitigate this from any bundler, right? What you do is you drop your dev wallet first. And no matter what happens, don't come in with your bundles. Just let them PvP, whatever. If it's bullish and it sends without anything, then just sell the dev wallet. You made some like 2-3 soul. If not, they pay the chart organically for you. You wait it out. I don't care if it's like 20 minutes, wait 30 minutes, wait it out. When it's a dead chart, then you come in with your bundles. And on that case, the people who may have run this thing here, and again, not saying that Coinwave's doing this, but if they're doing that, you're not going to be affected because the way you put it in, you actually launched compared to the people that are launching off of block 1 or block 0.
Got you. So, you see, I'm so glad we're doing this video because I would say that I would love the workflow. Yeah. Like, I would love a workflow of how to create a profitable coin, because that's the reason why I'm doing this, because I love I love just being on the internet. I love learning new things. I love technology in general. So I'm just trying to take in all this information. And by the way, again, I really do, and I'm very grateful for you, my man. Because again, if you wouldn't be doing this right now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be able to again grasp the ideas. So I appreciate you a
Oh
lot. I'm
yeah,
very grateful
for
for you.
sure.
Shit,
My pleasure. This is honestly like
it's
teaching is
great.
one of my passions, brother. I love doing this shit. So I was up first. I used to. It was crazy, man. I used to do 3 hours, but two to three students a day. So I was doing about 6 to 9 hours a day of teaching, and then it got burned out after the first week, and I was like, oh shit, like I can't continue doing 3 hours a block. So I created a digital course, and then I started just doing 1-on-ones for an hour. But they still had that 3 hours of what I was doing previously. So people got killed two birds with one stone. So
Wow. Well, again, congratulations, and I hope you pat yourself on the back, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta enjoy the journey, man, to get to the destination, brother. So,
yeah, the thing for me is what helps is to be able to have people like yourself. Multiple people have came to me, and a lot of people made money. Like even honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I have people that are really genuine people, and that's why they fuck with me, and I'll launch projects for them. I don't even have to drop my own Solana. They'll send me 30, 40
oh,
Sol, and then they'll just do all the marketing. So I really am like that's what YouTube done for me, is made me like a transparency person to be able to launch stuff like that. However, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're in the money world, and I'm gonna be dead honest, like transparent. I feel like I've definitely talked to the devil in these discords. Like the devil, Satan himself was like, "Hey, yeah, like no, honestly, because these guys are diabolical. Some of the guys are like
got you.
just diabolical fucking mind states. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, bro. I definitely feel that. Some of them got some, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
each
No, no,
his
I know.
own. I teach them
Hey, of
all,
course.
what I'm saying? That's why the devil don't have no smoke with me, because I teach both sides, but like still, I'm like, I
God
see
bless,
some
man. I'm
crazy
very,
shit though.
man, listen, I'll tell you, I have too. That's why I'm a godly man, brother. You know what I'm saying? God bless. You know what I'm saying? Try to live with a purpose,
Yeah,
and
man, I
hopefully,
hear you,
karma will
brother.
bite me in the ass, man.
That's why I call it transfer of wealth at the end of the day. Like a lot of times you go into some of these, for example, videos like Kinesis, they only offer a bundler that currently offers no migration support. So of course you're going to get a community that is going to try to extract as much as they can below migration, because there's no support after migration. You know,
Gotcha.
but my main thing when it comes to specifically Coinwave here is your job when it comes to deving is one thing. As far as I was just showing you the blueprint, as far as that buys from the dev wall itself, realize too, you're gonna get this in the other material in the courses too, especially in the live courses, that some strategies work like this. For example, the dev buy, you can sell the dev wallet, buy back in, multiple dev buys trigger off automation snipers coming in, because they're literally in Discord groups waiting for particular buybacks of devs at certain market caps. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I think that's actually. I heard that's a pretty good strategy, because when they look back at the devs buying back in, they just say, "Hey, this probably may just be a potential project or a big player in the move."
Yeah, and
That's
also I was gonna say one of the biggest bullish thing to do too is to have, like, let's say maybe 10, 15 Sol standby in the dev wallet and just leave it there, so it
okay.
looks like, oh, this guy's rich. This is a big play type of shit. He didn't even use his extra
Okay.
money.
Oh, so you're saying to have it in the vault. So let's say if I had, 20 Sol that I'm using for the project, 25 Sol I'm using for the project, and I have another 25 Sol in the vault.
Yeah, you just let it sit
Okay.
there. But I mean, the vault should be technically, theoretically, that same wallet that the dev is, but just never being used. But people could clearly see when you launch the project that this dev has like 20 Sol left over in his wallet, just chilling.
A question: wouldn't you have to use the dev wallet though to have everything mixed correctly, or is that where am I getting it wrong there?
So the Funder wallet, which is the one that I was referring to earlier, this is going to be as if this. Let's go back here. So let's say if this was the Funder wallet right here, F for Funder. Then you have the dev wallet, and then all the other bundler wallets that are coordinating right here. So these are all the bundler wallets right here, right?
Oh, okay.
So what happens is the funder will fund this one and fund this one, and the mixer are basically these ropes here, these lines here. These are mixing it right here, and no matter what happens, it won't ever have connectivity between all these wallets, because the mixer essentially branched everything out.
Oh, that is gas. I ain't gonna lie, man. That is fire. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh,
It's pretty crazy. But that's
that
how the
is, but
funder
that
works.
is.
That's why for me personally, like whenever I do projects, whether it be a Coinwave or whether it be in Kinesis, I always create a funder wallet, and then I'll have the client send the funds to that specific wallet, so that way I can literally go straight to distribution and then bundling. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, after you bundle in, because like this is the thing. There's like, let me show you right now. There's like literally a lot of money just randomly in the air right now. Like currently as we speak, there's 3,000 Solana per every 15 minutes. It's literally, I think, East Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast time, I think. And
on the weekend too.
On the weekend, exactly. So I remember back, I kid you not, like probably like a month ago, it was barely 600, 800 on Friday. And so I've been seeing spikes, as you can see. This gives me like a little data chart of seeing what's happening per the day. But I've seen spikes up to 6,000, 7,000. And which basically means, in layman's terms, you can take a picture of your own shit and throw it out there. Someone's gonna bid on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much money in the air. You know.
It's so funny, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right, man. No,
as long as you have the metrics and the marketing already set up, like I showed you, as far as having that dollar amount in there, these like you know this, the what's it called, peppermint, or the
yes, peppermints. No, peppermints. Yes, no, that's exactly what you're talking about. Yes, exactly. I haven't. Oh my goodness, that's like the console one. That's the console DUI right there, brother. That's oh, you are old school, man. Oh, I like that. Peppermints is that shit, bro. I used to listen. Yo, hey, man, Lauren, my dog, man, bro, man. But peppermints, wow, bro, core memories right there. Wow.
Yes, sir. That's what they do. So they're able to detect specifically certain parameters to be able to help you as like a quote unquote sniper trader to make better decisions. Yeah. So all we're doing essentially is taking their information and trying to essentially modify it so it gives us bids and more formal plays to bring it in. The main thing about it is, I feel like once you get to the point where you're actually feel comfortable with deving to the point where you're only losing small transaction fees, you're gonna literally find out that you're gonna run into basically two things. Let's go back to the whiteboard. There's three to four things really, actually, but let's go back to the whiteboard. I'm gonna show you. I'm here. LARP, VAMP, and CT news. So the LARP news is something where you can essentially. All right, let me give you a good plan, because when I told you I've been in the room with the devil, I will give you exactly just what happened. So I got a student like yourself, randomly got, this is like, I have talked to so many people, like almost like a kindergarten teacher, but like I literally had a guy, his name is, well, his Discord name was Seaman at the time, but his fucking real name is Squares29.
Okay, gotcha.
Are you familiar with him, with Squares29?
It sounds. I'm honestly not. I'm not too. I should be, but I'm not. I guess you could say too educated.
Did you ever hear about a homeless coin being like rug pulled or something?
A homeless coin.
Someone started a homeless coin last year, and then like all of a sudden it got rug pulled or something. It went to millions. Like he was responsible for that.
Okay.
And he was responsible for a lot of other rug. So he does LARP projects. Like for example, what he did is. And I'll give you the exact play-by-play. And this is a matter of people would rather do this or not. But I'm just giving you all the tactics of how people are making money and what they do. Because technically speaking, it's like this. I want you to think like this. Like, no matter what, when you go in to watch a professional basketball game, all those motherfuckers can shoot a ball to the hoop. Like, you know what I'm saying? But all of them have a different way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so...
Gotcha.
That's what I try to use in the sense to bundling. My goal is to get you to the point where you get that ball to the hoop, but as far as how you do it is up to you, you know? And so LARPing,
of course.
What he did is he fucking had his Uber driver, which was his friend in real life. They devised a plan where he was going to, and this is, by the way, this is before previously where Pump had no restrictions when it came to actually live streaming. Like you wouldn't, if you were shooting guns out of your window, they would not cut.
Yeah, I remember that. There was this guy who was, bro, this dude was in a room with like a straight up, like, excuse my language. He's in a room.
The window.
Bro, dude was in a room with a stripper doing straight jugs and galaxy gas off the street. Excuse me, no promoting, but it's crazy, man. You know,
he looked like he was in America too. Definitely looked like one of those countries. Like, wait a minute, yo, I should be in Russia right now. What the fuck you doing here?
Yo, brother, you killed
his ass right now.
Oh man, so many idiots.
Man, yeah. So What he did
Oh,
though is this: he decided to talk to his Uber driver, which is his buddy.
okay.
He
Yeah.
said, "I'm gonna act
Oh
like I
man.
got a gun in my waist paddle on live on X and on Twitter. I mean, on Twitter and also on
Oh,
Pump One."
I don't know. I think I seen that actually.
Yes, he was my
Oh,
student. Yes, I didn't tell him to do that shit. I just taught him how to shoot the ball. Hey, I didn't tell him to go down the street and fucking do that shit.
yeah, that's some
But
real
yeah,
ass shit right there.
he
That's
literally just had a play where they pretended like he was robbing the entire Uber van, and then he got out the car and the whole thing, and the market cap went up, and so yeah, like that was a LARP, and so that's what they do, and with these things essentially cause attention and sometimes emotional. For example, LARP, what do they call it? Rage baiting does cause people to essentially for free come see what you're seeing. That's what they're doing. They're not
yeah.
paying any type of, Twitter or Google infrastructure for advertisement costs because they know crypto is banned for PPC, pay per click. But because
That's
obviously the nature of what we got going on here, but the reason they're
100%.
able to bring people in it is, for example, LARP or basically saying on hey, I guarantee you, but just bringing rage bait to the table. It could be, for example, what he did too is not only the Uber thing, but he did a cancer patient as well, where this person was a cancer patient. And then on live, he rugged it right in front of people. They didn't even know it was 29 until so. And before he was even doing that, he was already doing mini LARPs on Pump by basically having OnlyFans girls there at random nights, just talking to the audience, and then he would just rug it before it went to migration.
But that's what
So
I'm saying. I feel like I'm telling you, I've seen that, bro. I'm telling you, I witnessed
gross him.
it. Bro. Oh, bro, I know, seen dude.
Yeah, and the thing about it is those LARPs do. So there's pros and cons with that. My job again is not to lean in any type of blame or anything. I'm just trying to teach
Of course,
from both sides of the fence. But the pros of that,
education.
yeah, exactly. So the pros of this is that you're going to definitely get way more FOMO bids into it because one, snipers like volume, and at the end of the day, when people are bidding highly for something, it's because they believe in something and it's got something emotionally attached to the heart. Like, for example, when Trump got shot in the ear, the first point that came out went to like 80 million was ear. And so people
Bro.
obviously are emotionally invested in something like that. Now that's not a LARP, that's more of a CT news, but he was using that same type of that tactic to bring in a lot of different bids. And so, with that being said, the people in the industry, specifically snipers and traders, for the most part, and honestly, kind of to be honest with you, I've had conversations with devs as well, other diabolical people that you would think that they're all in the same fence, but really the devs don't like LARPs too. And the reason why devs don't like LARPs is this, and it makes sense after time and me getting this, is because when you have a chart, for example, let's say it goes up to $1 million market cap, if you decide to quote unquote nigga nuke it, then it leaves no room at all for any type of real reversal, which obviously over time and multiple projects doing that leaves people to leave Solana and leave Pump and go somewhere else, maybe ETH or whatever, Whereas
Trauma, straight trauma, bro.
right, whereas you're a dev, let's say if you're a million, you started slowly chunk or sell, not only would you probably be able to get more profit anyways doing that, but also it wouldn't affect the chart to the point where anything that you drop next is people will still buy into it because it's like a game at that point to them.
Organic, keeping it. Yeah, I'm not really geared towards that. I'm actually geared towards more what you're saying because I would love to actually keep a project that was at least like it gives somebody like I'm not saying necessarily inspire somebody, of course, to get into into trenching and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. When I first started trenching, brother, listen, I had good times and I had some bad times. And you know what? That's what I enjoy actually the most. I enjoy the good so much that I know how to balance out the bad, and I honestly enjoy the bad so much that I know how to balance out the good. So
Yeah.
honestly, I genuinely actually would love to inspire people actually with a coin like mine, like even if it is like I'm the same as you, but I'm more of a CT news type of guy, like big events or something like that, creates
Yes.
like a good narrative, and
Yeah.
then from
So
there,
100% CT News plays devs I know, they're making a lot of money, and I'm gonna tell you why. So out of all of these projects, only CT News and theoretically only CT News and Tech Sometimes here and there, Vamp does it, but very rarely. But CT Dudes definitely does it, and Tech does this, where you might not make a lot of money, or you may, let's just say, how about like this? You may make, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 soul as profit on those plays, like hypothetically. However, in the course of 30 to 60 days on your creator fees, you may make 40, 50 soul on your creator fees. And the reason why I say that is because we don't know, obviously, with any type of contract where how far things will go. But after all your walls are out, because you're the dev, you literally get creator fees for pump that will literally continue adding up over and over. Like literally right now, the guy that's at Michi is probably picking up $5,000 a day just off creator phase because people still buy, selling, buy, selling, buy, selling, buy, and selling. You know.
Bro, which is crazy to think about that, because until this day, if you create a good project, people are gonna be like, okay, this is something that I could actually be willing. Man, you speak, yo, that me, man. I was like, I'm tapping you up right now in the air, bro. Man, my man, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's exactly what I want to do.
So, for example, CG News, Putin decides that he wants to go to World War III. And knocking hardwood wood, you know, like, but that would be obviously usable. The moment the first nuke happens, that coin is like, even if your walls are out, like you literally going every day under your bunker or wherever you're at in Miami or something trying to find, but you literally extracting creator fees every day. It's up, you know.
He said it's up. Well, I was thinking of, I mean, listen, bro, you know, something I was already thinking about, you know, depending if I was using was a 9/11 coin, actually. Because 9/11 was coming up. So that's like I would consider, you know, a meta. Now, of course, other people are going to do it, but what's going to differentiate mine from theirs? And that's the goal that I try to think of every single time when it comes to trying to develop, which is why I'm taking this course, especially with my man Uncle Warren, bro.
I got another play too that I would consider this a 5th option that no one really has really done yet, but I just want to put it in your hands because honestly, it depends on where in the world you're at that could this happen. But right now, as you may notice, streaming is like one of the biggest things people, well, specifically on Twitch and you know, on not specific right now, but Twitch and on what's it called? The other one, yeah, Kick, exactly. So the thing about it is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but a lot of streamers that are like really big streamers, the way that they were able to do it is by just having balls to the wall. And what they call it sniping at stream, which is, for example, Kai, even Ray. He literally was just a random person. Was like, I gotta go ahead. Kai Snet's in town. Let me just pull up on him and just jump in. And like, I don't know him. That's called sniping someone's stream. And obviously, they're in public. You cannot tell somebody not to pull up unless they. I mean, still they may have security, but still, public road to public road. You know. So, I would feel like a 5th option would be if you were in a place that you knew streamers were at, especially, you don't have to be a like high snet, but it could be a, you know, streamer that gets like, you know, a nice little following or whatever, you know, pull up on their stream literally with your pump fund open and snipe stream them while they're on the stream and drop the CA. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, dog, yo, I know, again, educational purposes, I might just do that. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a crazy idea. That is a crazy idea,
that's why Kai, like, literally looks at the camera all weird when people are doing weird shit. Even as outside crypto, like, I'm not sure you saw recently, but Ray J was there. He said something about Diddy. He's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, yeah. He was like the second Diddy. I was like, oh, Allah.
It's like a brand business. Yeah, yo. He's like, this nigga's gonna say some shit that's gonna get me fucked up, right? And the same thing. You can liable to jump on this shit. You see him in the street, you fucking drop a coin. Yo, buy the blah blah. Here's a CA address. Everybody, 50,000 people see it. Boom.
Yo, that's facts, bro. That's right there. And again, infinite money.
What you can do too, and I have some students that do this too. I don't know how to do this because there's no API connected to it. I mean, I don't know how to automate this process, but another way of doing this, if you consider this either 5 or 6, is when they do TTS, talk to chat, then just drop the CA on their TTS. It only costs $5, and you got 35,000 people watching for $5 to say a robotic message. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Literally.
I would love. You see, I would love to do that.
Says he's going to turn to chat TTC on. You drop the speed coin. You say, "Hey, chat, my coin now is blah blah blah." Only he's going to do is try to stop the message before it gets out. But if he's not quick enough, or else people can start aping this shit.
That's it, bro. I could do that. You right? Create it literally after a streamer or somebody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go on the stream,
pay that $5-10 chat. Then say the custom chat to them, and boom, make it worth your while.
Dog, that would be crazy. And the TTS, where would you be able to do that? You're saying on Kick
Every
or on?
streamer, what they do is they have the ability to turn on these more. Like they obviously get donations, but if you have TTS on, it allows their streamers to not only pay for donations, but for TTS to be able to hear a message that they want everyone to hear. So when they turn it on, like you've seen people like rampage, maybe like in Walmart or something, and then all of a sudden he'll be talking to like an employee, and this thing that says you suck dick. You know, he's
Yeah,
sorry, that was
yeah,
my
oh
shit.
yeah. I've seen that. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen that. I've seen that.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I see
People are
what you're saying. Yeah, it
teasing,
only costs
using it for
$1.
funny, but this is a business. There's hundreds of thousands of people watching these people live. You can literally say anything
Yo,
for
that's
$10. You know,
bro. That is smart, bro. That is insane. I never thought of you. You're right. No
bro,
one's ever
literally
thought of
for
that.
$50, continue putting the CA out. The CA of
Bro,
this
that ain't
miscalculation.
that ain't shit. I would do that in an instant, but that's a great way to also promote, especially
Absolutely.
to influencers.
It kind of goes
Hey, bro,
between LARP and Vamp at the same time. It's like a little both best of both worlds.
of course, and Vamp would basically be in
Change to something
summary.
that's already out. So let's say if you had, let's go to Pump Fun right now, and
Okay.
like let's say Crazy Frog right now. So if we launch Crazy Dog or Crazy Cat, you know, that's a Vamp.
Oh, Vamp, like as in revamp.
Revamp, exactly.
Oh, wow.
You
Okay.
might take this one right here and put some tits on it, right? If it went big,
And
and
call
use
it,
the female version.
yeah,
Of
instead
it.
of falling chungus, that's why I call it falling bungus. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the
Exactly.
boobies up.
Exactly. Or booty. She might be
Yeah.
playing around with the booty out, like you know what I'm saying. And to do
Yeah,
this, you
yeah.
can literally grab these CA. That's another thing too that you can look in the course of that. But you can actually grab these images. Now that we have access to Google Banana, we can literally tell Banana, you know, like do this, do that, and it literally will follow that same design format, and it'll look like an original image.
That's so. You said Google Banana. Actually, I have not heard. See, that's one thing I have not heard of. So I got other AIs, of course, but
Google
Google
Banana just came
Bananas.
out last week. It's
Dang.
free.
Oh, that's
You know,
why. No wonder why. I was gonna say. I was like,
it's called
what?
Banana Nano.
Google Banana.
Definitely read this over. It's going to change everything from now on. Like Photoshop is out of business. Like literally.
Oh, deuces. Oh, okay. I use it in Google AI. Okay, I didn't even know that Google AI Studio has it.
Yep, it has
That's great. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah, man. For the most part, like it's about leverage. You got yourself your position, so this is gonna allow you once you're actually in your coins to be able to see
Okay.
not only your holder but how much your profitability is. The thing I love about, however, with Coinwave is the ability to have automations on your exit. Because what is a buy when you can't exit, right? Or when it's the exit is the most important part to profit. So if
Or
you
stop
wanted
loss.
to,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So if you wanted to, I always recommend this in my courses, but have groups of eight per wallet, 8 wallets per group. And the reason why I recommend that is because one, you can set up 8 parameters, smart orders. So for example, 8 wallets go out at 30K, another 8 wallets go out at 60K, another 8 wallets go out at 70K, and this is all automated. So the reason why I like that too is you never know. Like for example, when this shit went from 267 right here to 395. And I'm on a 5-minute time chart. Somebody fucking just bought up a whole lot of fucking supply, and you might not have time to sell if you don't already have your automation set up. You see what I'm saying?
Got you.
So this.
And you're saying when you say automation. Okay, you're saying when you say automation is selling, you're saying as they're buying, you're also selling at the same time.
Yeah. So let's say hypothetically speaking, we had 3 groups, and each group had about 8 wallets in them. 1, 2, 3. I can set up, for example, this group of wallets to exit out, let's say at like, I don't know, 66,000 or 64,000, right? And then I can say I want you to sell 100% at that point. And I want you to sell in like the intervals of every 5,000 seconds, which is basically milliseconds. So every 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, one of the wallets will sell. It won't do a hard boom, but it'll do every 5 seconds. So that way, it doesn't even look like those groups aren't even a part of each other, anyways.
Oh, because they're 5 seconds apart and they're each selling 5 seconds apart from each other.
Yes, sir. That's called
tapers. Tapers. Okay, taper sale. And taper sale basically just means that again one by one.
Yeah.
In a sense, with 5.
Or you can just do it below, which is as soon as possible, which is why you get these red lines that come down, which obviously knows this bundle. But the less of that, more, the more, because like let's say you right here grabbed a shitload of supply, like 50%, which is around 35 to 40 soul these days. So 50 to 55%, 35 to 40 soul. And then now you're all the way up here at 400,000 market cap. Instead of doing this big old red drop, if you did a sell every 10 seconds, who knows that somebody might be bullish and just buy into it more. And you get in a better position of a sell that was like a 3x up on that, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, instead of selling it so quickly early on, you're not giving it that potential to grow.
Exactly. And the chart doesn't look like it's already controlled. It looks like, even though you controlling it. So these type of things is good to remember, especially it allows you to set up things pretty quick because of the fact that it has presets that you can do here and add things. But for the most part, what I would recommend is after you have all of your like pretty much bundling go-tos as far as, all right, this is everything supplies in, right? My main thing for you is to try to practice the marketing on as far as getting these KOLs or these people, or it depends on what you want to do though. Because if you're a LARP, you don't even need a KOL. You LARP. But you know, it's
hell yeah, no. So my partner actually knows a couple of KOLs as well. So actually, I think we're gonna we actually might just be pretty good. You know, that's the reason why we're actually trying to develop, because we want to take a chance on actually developing something that's not gonna be, you know, I guess you could say just some like, it's not like it become a big major coin, but a coin that people are actually at least going to be willing to invest and at least get some type of return from, if that makes sense. That's what I would like, you know.
What I would recommend, just another further just piece of like tip information, is if you have a particular like interest of a coin that you like and that you feel really bullish about, like once you drop the coins, even if you see it sending pretty nice and steady like in the beginning, if it's sending already without having to pay for DEX and you're just basically, you know, flying and you're not providing any type of like bumps or nothing like that, it's literally just like, or it feels like organic, I would definitely recommend selling all the positions to make 16, 17 soul profit. I've done this multiple times in my course. You'll see it in the live session, because without paying for DEX doesn't solidify the actual coin was actually yours to begin with. So you might as well profit and have this profit so you can possibly use it for buyback or something else later down the road.
Got you. That's smart as fuck. Which is being
buy it and you like, nobody's mad if you dump a project that's not DEX bid. That's like you're bullish to try to get into that project because you think that it's going to migrate. But even if it migrates without any DEX being paid, you're not responsible because that was never updated on the websites. Nothing was ever.
Of course, there was no. It wasn't that wasn't the plan. But guess what? It exceeded the plan.
The first project exceeded the plan, so I sold all my positions without looking bad, and then I started the real project up, paid for DEX at 5K because I just made 30 soul, and I don't care where this project goes. Type shit.
So,
that's the DEX, and then at that point you probably will still go because they're like, oh, I thought it was the real one. It was, but I didn't pay for DEX. It's a chess play.
It was.
That's why it's still PvP psychedelic, but at the end of the day, it's really chess, because you think about it, like you literally are getting into early tickets of something that you don't know currently is real. Like I did this before. I remember. All right, let me tell you what happened. So
I'm listening, but all ears.
CT plays, we have literally sites, and I'll give you the game here. There's a site here called let me remember it back here. It's coming back to me because it was back in the days when I was sniping like crazy. Let me pull let me think, hold on. I see the picture in my head. What is
you good, bro? I'm trying to be as quiet as possible so you could think, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, take a couple more rips of that, you know?
It allowed people to essentially get alpha plays by CT wallets that were highly profitable. Like were considered like gym wallets. Huh?
AlphaGate?
No, it wasn't called AlphaGate, but it was something similar. It's
okay.
Hold on, let me see here.
That's one that I used to use.
Lana hacking wallets. Let's see if I can pull it up on some like Google SEO type shit. If the SEO is even on point. I gotta remember. I could come to that back to me, but let me give you just the moral of the story. So maybe I'll probably come up with the name of it. Chain Edge. There it is. It just came.
Chain Edge. Okay, let me.
Edge.io, I believe it is. Yes, there it is. Okay. So
look at that.
So what happened was this is a site that allowed me to see essentially not only early snipers but also late movers, meaning that it also took an analytics of these people that were coming in after migration and still making X, Y, and Z amount of profit, like as if it was a planned play, anyways. So,
A CTO,
huh?
like a CTO, something like that.
Like a CTO, basically. Yeah, like CTO wallets. It also gives you gym wallets, for example, wallets that have consistently found projects and taking them up 20, 30 X's are consistently with doing that. Their win rate might be like 65 or 60%, but however, their trades that they're taking are usually like long holders. They'll call it
High quality.
gym counts. Yeah. So what I did is I used this particularly to follow a particular wallet. And that time, that wallet took me into a contract that led me into an actual already pre-existed DEX pay situation. So a lot of times people sometimes, again, this is one of those marketing tactics that you can't, up to you to use, but people either pay DEX and LARP and basically don't still dump it because they've already profited from the already $300 that they've already initiated done. In my case, I was seeing a project that looked like it was Jason Derulo. At the time, there was a lot of celebrity meta that was coming out, and Jason did not have a project that was pumped yet. And so, however, I realized that the Telegram group, because at the time the X communities weren't actually a thing, it was just Telegram. It's kind of how it shows me how fucking old I am. But
bro, I'm just not, bro. You're not that old, bro. Like, man, you look young and a whippersnapper. You feel me, man? Come on now, bro. Yeah, bro, come on. I was
getting discouraged because I saw a reel that says, "If you know 7 of these things, you're an unk," and it was like a song. The first one, it was like Dr. Dre beat. I was like, "Fuck," that was one. The second one was like, it's like all these tunes I knew. And the second one was like, "Oh fuck."
Oh nah, but Jason Derulo, man, that's a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Come on, bro.
Is I went ahead and I saw that this particular Telegram group was a developer by the name of Sahil. This guy Sahil is a developer who, again, this is like probably like the devil's advocate type of shit, and he is the one that onboarded Caitlyn Jenner, and paid like $250,000 just to a tweet, and then boom, next thing you know, Caitlyn Jenner probably at 50-60 million, and she didn't even know, or he didn't even know, like they were dropping a coin, and so he was dropping all these celebrity coins at the time. And so I seen that he was the dev of this project, and I thought to myself, well, if he's a dev, this is what's probably going to happen, because I was kind of like getting in tune with everything. I was like, for one, Jason have no idea what the fuck's going on, and I'm sitting.
You don't even know.
I'm sitting on the floor at that point, like 60,000 market cap. Like no tweet is out. People are just holding it, thinking that like it's about to send, their tweet's about to happen, type shit. And so I'm there, it's like 6, 7 in the morning. And I remember like it was yesterday, as soon as the tweet came out, I didn't see the tweet until my charts were going up. My charts was like $123. I spent like, I think, $120 or $200 on the project, maybe 1 or 2 sold at the time. And then basically, boom, next thing I know, I looked up and my shit was like $5,000 within like a matter of like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh shit. I went to his Twitter and I saw the tweet and I said, oh shit, it's the one. But this is the thing. I knew since Sahil was a part of this shit that he was going to nigga nuke this shit, because you don't have time when you're dealing with shit like this where a person like Jason could easily go on Twitter and say, hey, I was hacked, this is not me, and people just start
like this ain't me, like
So what
you're saying that this dude was behind that.
Exactly. So the same thing I just showed you in Coinwave, which is right here in the smart orders, where you can add and you can do market cap. I did the market cap for 99999, which is $1 below $1 million. I'd said to myself, if I know him like a chess move that I could think before him, he's going to sell at 1.01 everything. So what I need to do is I need to capitalize at least a 50% sell so I can have a moon bag and probably a 4x at least.
Just chill. Yeah.
I looked up. By the time I was looking at the tweet, all of a sudden that shit was going down, like, and I was like, oh shit. But I looked at my bag. My bag was already profitable, like $300-$400, even though it was at 5K at point. But I had a moon bag, 50% left over, so I was already like 3x up.
You're already up. It
was a machine. It was like a what's it called, a chess move. Literally, like you guess the next person's move before they do it, type shit. Because I
literally intuition. It was just like poker, kind of like poker.
Exactly. I did not have the time to export my wallet out or sell at the time because all those positions were leaving.
Just went straight down. It was just gone. It was just it was just dipping.
Exactly. So now I'm sitting waiting without sitting my positions. I said, you know what? This is going to be two things. One, he's going to come on Twitter and say, I didn't have nothing to do with this. Yep. Or two, he's going to come on Twitter and say, fuck this dude. I got hacked. I'm still going to run this coin up. And that's what exactly he did. He went in his backyard and said, yo, I'm sorry about that, guys. I just put my own money in this shit. Fuck Sahil. I'm going to run this shit back up. That shit went back up to 10 million. That went maybe like 40K in like 2 days.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's different.
So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to specific things from the ground floor up, now you're from the ground floor, you got to think like chess move, same way. You set these limiters to help you make executive decisions for yourself because the market is going to fuck with your mind. If you have even a person that snags their wallet, you might get a CT play like Orangey buys their coin. He gets like 40, 100, wallets just CT after him, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, you might be bullish, but that time in that is literally might be sell reaction points. And so if you have those numbers set up for you, allows you to leverage, and that's what Coinwave does for you. But I'm gonna give you more in the training. I don't want to give you too much. I think I'm almost at over an hour here for you.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Sorry about it. Yeah. Question. I do have a question though, man. What is there any tools that you can recommend me that isn't with Coinwave?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Website, you go to Morin.guru and you type in Solana bundlers. Literally, I have that list I just showed you, the solo and also full bundlers. So Kinesis at the moment, those are the ones that are currently pump fund specific guys are cooking up a pump fund. However, they do have guys in there. Don't get me wrong, they do get 6-figure projects too. However, what they do is they are importing their wallets directly into Axiom just to have a plan B. Plan B. So if they do migrate, they can have positions to sell out and have those limiters set up. By the way, like I was showing you, they're doing the same thing in Coinwave, but you would do an Axiom, but with limiters. Just helps you take the emotions away from your high points. Same thing as traders.
Yeah, because I've been learning actually. I practice that, taking emotions away from if I'm winning or if I'm losing. At the end of the day, you got to stay sane. You got to stay neutral. And I was also gonna say, I was actually watching a video from that guy that I was telling you about. That for you, it was your video, it's a student, and I saw that he also had he had volume bots, he had the sniper bots, he had like a main 5 setup, he had certain volume. You were going over with him, basically a coin on launch. And I just thought that was a pretty good setup as well, which is why I was asking you, do you think that would be the most profitable way to set up a coin? And if it wasn't, what would be?
Sorry, say that last part again. You were breaking up a little bit.
You're going over that. I was just saying, let's say, maybe that wasn't the most profitable way. I said, what would be? Based off of Coinwave.
Yeah, Coinwave is going to, right now, what they're looking to do from the looks of it is get into the niche of CT tracking projects, right? And so that's one of those categories that we were referring to as far as people literally just stand there glued to the TV screens looking at CT trackers. Now, the thing about theirs is, to be completely frank and honest with you, is I just feel like it's needs a little bit more updates as far as the CT thing goes, because I know they just recently added that. Just be fair and honest, because I can't currently add my own counts in there, and I would like to, so that way I have a little further leverage on what to do. However, there are other there's other bundlers, for example, that are even free that just give you just take the what's it called, transaction fees, like 0.08 or something like that, if you want to use them. For example, there's this one called X Developer that literally does the exact thing that Coinwave does. However, their CT thing allows you to add your own, and on top of it, they can have automation, so that way, let's say Elon tweets at 4 a.m. when you're asleep, it'll automatically bundle and sell all the wallets for you, and it'll create the coin for you.
Extend?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Want to show you? Have you seen that?
Actually, no, I haven't. This is the first time I'm seeing this too, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm very new.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, for sure. Let me send it to you right now. I also, if you go to my what's it called, YouTube, you'll be able to see a video of me showing it
Okay.
firsthand too. I have 2 videos actually, but
Okay.
you'll yeah, you can check that out too.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna be going through all the videos, man. Trust me. I'm trying to soak in as much knowledge as I can possible, man. Again, I'm trying to be. I see. Listen, I'm trying to eventually. Hopefully, I'll be a very good developer in the, you know what I'm saying, in the coin industry, and you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, maybe I can even work with you, my man. One day
Yeah.
that's gonna be a goal.
Yep. Yep.
For sure, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Brother, I know you locked in. Let me see this, though. Let me check this out. This. Okay, got it. X developer one. This is cool. Okay, you just set up an account and stuff, and then from there you can literally just set up everything with the CT scanner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Very good for that, man.
My pleasure. Anytime. Anytime. But yeah, man. I want you to do me a solid though, and let me go into that ticket of yours here.
Okay.
And yep, you have all the information there from the bundler.
I got all the information: the VPS, the node, get started, the one-on-one. I got.
I'll leave your ticket open for a couple of days, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be here, and I'll send you this footage too, so that way you have a live, hard copy of this too.
Of course, Warren, bro. My brother. First of all, I said one more time, I really do appreciate you. I'm very grateful for you, man. Like you know what I'm saying. You are a blessing, bro, and I hope people tell you that. Keep doing what you're doing, because you know what I'm saying, dog. At the end of the day, bro, this shit don't stop for nobody. You do your thing, man. It's a great passion to see, bro. Inspiration.
Thank you, brother. And I'm gonna send you the footage and tell your partner I said thank you as well, and hopefully I'll be working with each other soon.
Oh yeah, brother. Hell yeah, man. All right.
See you later, brother.
Thanks, man. Peace, man.